I've played, if you know 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, that game right there, that it's an adventure game technically, but that game, yeah, that was a crazy ass game right there. There's not gonna be another story like that in a minute. If you have a PS4 or PS5 and you haven't heard of 13 Sentinels, check that one out if you haven't. That game right there is, I highly recommend that. And don't look anything up because it's a sensitive spoiler game. So if you know any context of anything, it's not gonna ruin your experience. It might make you curious, but it's very connected. And if you know one thing, it might ruin something else, but not everything. So I highly recommend that one if you have a PS4 or PS5 and you like visual novels. Yeah, go into that game blind for sure. Because the reason I got that game is on Twitter, everybody was saying you should play it, and I was like, why? And they were like, I can't tell you, you just have to play it. And I was like, okay, well, you're being weird, because like you should be able to tell me what something's about. And I kept asking everyone, and they were like, I don't know. Like, I can't tell you. It's like impossible for me to tell you without spoiling anything. And people saying stuff like that makes me interested, because that's what people say about Umineko. And I got into 13 Sentinels with the same, I guess, kind of advertisement. Like, people were saying the same stuff around the game. And that makes me more interested in games, is when people are saying the same positive things about the game. But yeah, I highly recommend getting into that. It's an adventure, visual novel, and a real-time strategy tower defense game as well. Are you an Evangelion fan? I know everybody compares everything to Eva, but it's like a kids and mechs genre as well. Let me say something else too, because this doesn't spoil anything. But there's a total of around 10 characters, 10 different protagonists, and they all have their own progression in the story. So the way the game progresses is you play someone's story to, like, say 10%, and you jump to another character. And once you reach, like, say 30% on everyone, it unlocks the second act of the game. And then after you can do that for like 3 acts of the game, I guess. And you also balance that with the real-time strategy game too. But the thing is, you're not limited to any one character, like progressing through any one character. So you can jump from one character to another to another to another at any point you want to. And everyone has like a different experience of the story, since you can choose which character you know. And the biggest selling point of this game that no one told me is that there's literally a plot reveal every 5 minutes, no matter what character you choose. Every 5 minutes, since it's so context heavy. I sound crazy, man. This game is crazy. You learn something from one character and you jump to another character, and that revelation from the other character that you played as is present in every other character. So like, you can just hop between characters and just understand the story piece by piece. It's so good. I wish that they ported this game to console, because it's a hard sell to play this on PS4 or PS5. But I highly recommend this game. It's very good. And it comes with a art book that's about 30 pages. It's cool. There's not gonna be another game like that for a long time. I don't know how long it took them to make that, or how the premise even came about. But that's probably the best story. I'm a huge JRPG guy and I value stories a lot. That's probably the best story I've ever seen in a video game. Or at least, definitely the best execution of a story I've seen in a video game overall. Best use of the genre, or the medium of video games that I've seen. Because that story would not, well, it could, but I don't think it would work very well in any other medium besides video games. Like, not even a visual novel, I don't think would work very well. Like, if they made an anime adaptation, I don't think it would have the same effect at all. Just because it's so open-ended in how you can experience the story and how... Let me say something else to this. Yeah, let me say something else. So the thing about that game is you make your own revelations. You make your own revelations about the story in that game. So they won't... Like, when the big plot twist happens, like I said, every 5 minutes, it's not a huge, like, ball drop, like, oh my, what? No way that just happened. Like, they don't make a big deal about it. It'll just be, like, some kid on the playground saying something, and you're like, Like, you yourself make that ball drop moment in your head. You yourself go, wait a minute, because no one else reacts to it in the game itself. You make that connection yourself. It's actually, man, it's crazy. I'm selling myself on this game. I've been thinking about making a YouTube video trying to sell that game without spoiling anything, because it's really difficult for people to convey why that game works the way it does, and I've been thinking about it for months. It's very, very good.